Thank you, Sister Jaya. Om Shanti, everybody. So we just show wave of hands to all the followers. Not only myself, all the followers. Okay? Thank you very much. So as Jaya was saying that this morning panel is on two portions. One is first portion, sanskara transformation. Okay? The second part is becoming an instrument for subtle service. So what brother was thinking, in maybe half an hour, half the half the panel is just on sanskara transformation. The second portion is on becoming an instrument for subtle service. So brother will throw question. Any of you can answer. You inspire, you just take a mic and answer. Okay? So we don't fix according to rotation or whatever. Okay, I think this is a very, very important topic. As we know, time is coming close, drama is closing, play is ending. So all of us have to return. But the question is, to return back in what condition we return back? Either are we 100% complete, are we full, or are we perfect? So this topic is just dealing with that. So the first question, brothers, the thing is, we know that sanskara transformation, we have to, ideally we should become a deity at the very end. We should have full of deity sanskara, correct? So the question, just one question, what is the fastest way, quickest way in this short time to develop all the deity sanskara? What is the fastest way in this short time that is left to develop fully or complete deity sanskara?
The fastest way will take only 1 second.
Very fast, 1 second.
So just go and sit in the lap of Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. And stay tuned, you are receiving shower of intense, both of all powers, and Bab Dada becoming magnet, and your soul becoming 24 karat gold. I think this is the fastest way. In a second, if you remember Baba and align your mind, intellect and heart, I will not see anything. In a second you feel I am in the lap of both Bab Dada and both blessed hand on my head, and I'm receiving all his power in, can say that is like you put magnifying glass and concentrate how it help burn the paper. The same, in that fastest way, we will get all full deity qualities, as per my opinion.
Om Shanti. Being a scientist earlier, I'll try to correlate it with science itself. If somebody used to ask me what is the theme of Brahma Kumaris, I used to say that in one line, if you go from physical state to metaphysical, that means from body conscious to soul conscious, which is Baba's first chapter of the 7 days course, that becomes the fastest way, and that becomes the essential way. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. I'm just complimenting what both of them have said. Yes, fastest way is definitely just to become soul conscious. But all of you would have seen on the roads also signs. Fast driving, it thrills, but it can also kill. So that gives a lot of thrill, but it can kill as well. So if you really want to do the fastest effort, make sure that your brake is perfect. So without a proper brake, the more faster you go, more chances that you may fall down faster as well. So again, to develop a perfect brake basically means what Sushil Bhai was telling, to become the point, to become soul conscious. So when you become soul conscious, you don't have any problem. But the problem actually comes when you come back again here to perform your karma. So you will have to face with many of the issues in terms of relations, whether it is with BKs, non-BKs or whatever it is. So you need to again be practically grounded here, where break is very important. So break, in other terms, it just means full stop. Or if you still want to know it more practically, at times it could be just this much simple, that how much you're willing to just take the pain as it is. Many times you may actually pass very quickly, easily. Baba can actually help us, but at some point of times, he may just give us the power, but it is for us to digest certain things. So are you ready to digest certain things which Baba cannot actually help, though he can be with us, he can shower the powers, blessings, all those things. So in practical terms, you can understand applying break as that as well. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brothers. So conscious, paying attention, and then in front of Baba, as the three brothers were saying. Okay, the other thing, brothers, is, we have been paying attention. To change sanskaras, we need to pay attention to the self. And I think other than paying attention to waking up in the morning, going for classes, and then involved in seva or taking pure food, good company, what do you think, brothers, that any extra attention we have to pay during the whole day? Any extra attention we have to pay during the whole day so that our sanskaras can change easily, other than the routine? Routine, waking up, pure food, company, seva. Extra, what do you think?
So this Brahmin life, what effort we're making, you can call it marathon race. So till last breath, we have to make effort. So just take it like you are on the national highway. So from morning to evening, so we can set checking point. So checking point, so Baba has given traffic control time, so it's already there. And not need to have checking point putting extra timeline, but you can put in between that traffic control timeline like a checking point. So like after Amriti Vela, you can just selected some self-respect and titles what Baba has given to us. And throughout your life journey from morning to evening, so in between the traffic control time, take it, this is your checking point. You have to see from Amrita Vela till this time what effort I have put to make myself having to get flying stage. So where am I now? Check that and then recall that title and self-respect what Baba has given already you. And in that time period, just to go into the depth of meaning of those self-respect titles what Baba has given you. If you just go into depth and just recall, and it will help you bring easy sanskar transformation. That's Baba says, if you check, automatically there will be change. So this is the point I can say, set timeline and checking point to see yourself. Once Baba also mentioned the Murli, if you check this way, this effort is equal to Brahma Baba, what he did that time. So this can help easy sanskar transformation. The point is, decide the time and set some checking point, and checking point you can rely with self-respect and titles what I've given Baba to you, and go into depth and just like churn the specialties and findings and attainments. If you feel and experience those titles and self-respect, it will help a lot to get fast sanskar transformation. This is, I can say, another easy way to change yourself.
Yeah. So it is all very obvious. The way, if you want to put it in some other terms, it's just like Baba says, keep your chart honestly. So that's what Shrikant Bhai also has told. So in medical terms, if you want to say, it's like first you diagnose properly that you have a problem, means recognize honestly what is your problem. Once you recognize, that itself is 50% solution. After that, take whatever the effort that you know is right, honestly, then keep checking, and then not just only checking, change also as much as possible. So this is, as we all know, the step. And if you can pay attention on this, this is actually more than enough. Just one more thing which I would like to add here is, it is always good to pay attention at the subtler level itself rather than allowing things to become gross and then trying to break things in a very hard manner. So for that, what I would like to emphasize here is, we should take thoughts itself as sanskar, not just like you have a mindset, then you think, you feel, you do, then something becomes an habit in the name of sanskar. Now this is a regular process, but during last times, you have to, if you really want to take a fast effort, tivra purusharth, if you really want to do, you should bypass this regular step and be clear that even just thinking itself can become a sanskar. Best example is, it can be on both the sides, positive as well as negative side. For example, when you go to Madhuban, when the entire environment is very much positive, whatever the single thought that you create, that also becomes a kind of expected result very soon, quickly. Sometimes maybe within seconds, or sometimes maybe within few minutes or days, whatever it is. But there is always a chance that when the vibrations, when the relations, when the environment, everything is very perfect, even just creating a thought can become very powerful, can give you the kind of results as if it is a sanskar which is emerging. I don't know where from it is coming. This is the kind of thing we usually have when sanskar emerges. Such kind of thing you can have even just with thought itself. On the negative side, if I want to give an example, some of you would have heard something called as PTSD. How many of you are aware of PTSD? Okay, so this is called as a post-traumatic stress disorder. Suppose if somebody is just witnessing an accident with their own eyes, very horrible kind of accident. It's just fraction of seconds, but this fraction of second witnessing that horrible accident gets registered so strongly within fraction of seconds, and it becomes a disease for them. It becomes very difficult for them to even forget. When they go home, the same thing keeps flashing back. When they go to office, same thing keeps flashing back. They have not even taken any intentional effort to register, but it has become a disorder which requires treatment also. So this is an example on the negative side, how just a single thought also can become a very strong kind of impression. So why it has become a strong impression to the level of disorder? Because it has created such a kind of powerful impact through changes at a bodily level also, because the environment was filled with full of anxiety. Say for example, the airplane crash. So just imagine, what if somebody has witnessed there somebody dying in front of their eyes. So there are lots of changes that happen in the body instantly, and when people are also having similar kind of negative vibration which is set very strongly, within just fraction of seconds, things can become an impression, even without you thinking. So you can apply this on the positive side also. If everything is perfect, if the ground is set perfect, then just a single thought can become an sanskar also. So when we are struggling to transform ourselves, just have this thing written very clearly in your mind. Thought itself is sanskar. It just means don't allow things to grow and then become grosser. Start working at the root seed level itself. This itself can be a very intense kind of attention. Om Shanti.
I'll share my own experience. I think might be repetition because last time when I came to ARC, I had shared that experience. I was blessed to be from the center where Jagdish Bhai used to be there. And I remember when I started in Gyan, I used to say for maybe weeks together with the Chakradari Didi, I'm not able to meditate. Then she thought let him discuss with Jagdish Bhai because he'll give more scientific answer to him and how to do that. So that single liner I'll share with you. I was sitting this much, what I talked, even this much time was not there. And then when I said to Jagdish Bhai, he said, Sushil, put effortless. You don't put these many efforts what you are thinking. Because Baba says, effortless way. I said, then what to do? He said that if you are blinking your eyes, can you reduce your blink rate? I said, I think I can do this. He said, do this only. And then I came to know, because it was explained properly, our quality of thought is inversely proportional to quantity of thoughts. And depending on the blink rate, our number of thoughts gets reduced. So just by one single liner, he gave us a tip which will work forever, which I am still using it, not only for practice, even for scientific experimentation, because in my lab there was a wonderful eye tracking instrument costing 50 lakhs of Indian rupees, by which how much you are blinking, where you are staring, how many staring power, how much you have got it. And that's why, I'll stop it here, that's why you can't compete with a child, because he doesn't have multiple thoughts. So his staring is, or her staring power is maximum. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Just to add few more lines, that's an interesting thing. You may think it's something like a very gross kind of hatha yoga, but it is actually something very scientific. Scientific in terms of, Baba also says, you just bring your awareness here. This is what exactly he was also telling, but still more grosser in terms of reducing the blinking rate. If I want to give a solid example for this, if you have observed people with a psychiatric condition called as schizophrenia or psychosis very closely, they don't even blink actually. So it only means when somebody is completely deeply absorbed in their own thoughts, they are not grounded at a physical level. And that is very easily, clearly visible in terms of their blink rate. Okay, keeping the schizophrenia and other things aside, in terms of effort for us, what we can actually do, which is there in Hatha Yoga practice also, is you would have seen some of the yogis or rishis portrayed in the photos seeing like this, their eyes rolled up. And another important thing which you can observe is, or you can maybe go and then read about is, the moment when we close our eyes, automatically the eyes roll up. When the eyes roll up, there are so many things that happens inside. One important thing is, it actually directly impacts the sleep center or sleep-wake related center. That actually detaches you from the body, because if you are getting into sleep, it cannot happen without you detaching from the body. So one of the simplest practice to detach yourself from the body is just bring your awareness here, which naturally happens when you close your eyes in the name of sleep, because the eyeball roll up. When the eyeball roll up, sleep-wake related brain centers, whatever is there, that gets deactivated, and that is how you get into sleep. So the point is, whenever you feel like your thoughts are moving so fast, you can just do the simple practice, try to bring your awareness here. If you find it very difficult, just touch here, feel the touch, as long as you could feel. Again, if it fades away, touch it once again, feel. This is the simplest practice, and you can also count the blink rate.
Thank you, brothers. I think brother brought a very, very subtle point, no? Ramajayam was saying that rather than focus the end result sanskara, attention on the thought. It means thought will develop in sanskara. It's a matter of time. Thought will develop sanskara. So it means rather than sanskara at the final process, beginning process itself, first stage itself, pay attention to the thought. Okay, I just put the question and then we'll try to control, and then brothers can think about this question. Brothers, you know, we have been through the whole cycle. Copper and iron ages, we have impure sanskara. It means within the soul, we have pure sanskara, deity sanskara, half a cycle, impure sanskara for half the cycle. So the question is, I put two questions lumped up together. If a particular sanskara, impure sanskara, keep coming up again and again, okay, you want to make effort, but like Baba said today, anger, today's multi anger. Let's say someone have anger sanskara or attachment sanskara or whatever sanskara, keep coming up again and again to interfere in my developing deity sanskara. What should I do with that particular sanskara, impure sanskara, keep coming again and again? And the second portion is how to make sure that sanskaras will be buried for life, won't come back again. Okay, get it? So if the impure sanskaras keep coming up again and again, how to make sure that impure sanskara will never come back again? So how to deal with that impure sanskara keep coming up, interfere in my effort. First thing, what should I do? Secondly, how to make sure that particular sanskara will never develop again. That means sort of cremate forever. Okay? So we just have traffic control, and then brother, you try to share with us. Om Shanti.
So we have two questions. We can say, so Brahmin life completely engage these to answer these two questions, make it practical. So how to remove this impure thought, feelings related to impure sanskar? It comes repeatedly in the mind and intellect. Then another part, we have to make that powerful effort that sanskar will not come again, that we have to recognize before. So first part, again I can recall beautiful Baba's tips. So if you remember this, like see, body consciousness became natural. So is it natural? We have created. It's not natural. Our natural sanskar is we are soul consciousness. But since 63 birth, within 2500 years, when we recognize we are not soul, we are body, and through that body consciousness, because all impure thoughts, impure feelings that becomes old pakka sanskar, impure sanskar, the root cause is body consciousness. So that's why Baba let us, and Baba always remind us just to think yourself, see yourself, and recognize yourself by heart. You are not physical body, you are soul. So if you make this practice naturally, and sometimes Baba has also given very beautiful tips how to make your sanskar pure, everlasting pure. Just recall one practice, what Brahma Baba was doing at his time. I can give a simple, there is a one story from Brahma Baba's life. Chakradhar Didi was quoted in her class when she came to Madhuban and stayed for some days, and every day she used to see Brahma Baba get up early in the morning around 2 o'clock, and she doesn't know time, but every day she saw 4 o'clock in his kutia, Baba writing something. And she asked Baba, so Baba, what was doing that time? Every day I saw you are sitting and you are awake and you think something, writing something. So Baba used one word, Baba making halwa, garam garam halwa for my children. So that is one practice if you like to really, because we need intense effort for longer period of time. See if you have any pure, impure sanskar, it's not in a day we are going to change or impure sanskar. It takes time. but you have to make it a natural habit, make practice. So there are three time period throughout the day you can practice. One in Amriti Vela, and another part when if you are resting in daytime, like around 2 o'clock, between 4 o'clock, you can spare some time and before go to the bed in the night. You can did this practice, you can make this practice to, if you like to really remove all impure sanskar. It should be in natural practice. So what Baba was doing? Baba was introspecting, churning what comes to his mind, he was writing. We know that Shiva Baba was touching his mind, intellect, that's why Baba was writing, but what type of touch you can get there? So after Amriti Vela, just have 15 minutes. Read 5 minutes any Murli, Sakar Murli, Avyakt Murli, and just after reading, take another 5 minutes to what you read, recall those points and note down. This is take another 5 minutes. Then another 5 minutes, just sit comfortably and make silence and recall what negative, impure sanskar coming repeatedly throughout the day. And write down those sanskaras. Write down, literally write down. If you don't know how to write, you can recall your mind. And Baba has given these tips. After writing those impure sanskaras, recall me. And see, Baba also seeing those negative, impure sanskaras what you have written there. And Baba taking out that. And instead of that old impure feeling sanskaras, Baba fulfill his sanskar, his power, his virtues instead of those impure sanskaras. If you practice it repeatedly, maybe twice a day. So I just suggested you can take any time, but you have to practice. In Sakar Murli, Baba mentioned many times to get rid from this impure sanskar. It will come repeatedly. While you will be reading Murli, listening Murli, while remember Baba, all impure sanskar will come. What we say? We just frighten. We get like irritated, but should not get irritated. If sanskar coming, just Baba says, see me, call me, and I will be there to eradicate those or impure sanskaras. So if do this practice, so I can say that sanskaras will not come. I can say when you listen Murli, if you not feel sleep, so all negative, impure feeling, impure sanskar will not come again. If you are really victory over all impure sanskaras, where will get that divine intellect while listening Murli, you will not feel sleep. So this is very powerful actual tips given by Baba. We cannot recognize in a time. While you listen the Murli, just try to free from your mind intellect any type of laziness, restlessness. And all negative impure sanskar will not come again. Still, it is needed intense practice. It's not one day game. You have to make practice. So Baba says, practice, practice, practice. So when that negative, impure sanskar coming, just put one word in your mind, full stop. Full stop. If you just put this word in your mind, it will have break. Then you practice repeatedly. What I believe Baba has given these powerful tips, your impure sanskar will not come again. Still, we need practice.
On a lighter side, because Brother Shrikant has taken the name of Shakradhari Didi. So because of that reason, I am remembering one incident. Because that kind of a smaller bhatti was going on in our center itself. No, she said no need for practice. No, how the practicing tricks these elder sisters tells in a simpler way, that's what I'm going to share. She said you can do it only once you are sitting or once you are standing up. You are not to remember whole time. But if you do that, we thought it's an easier way, she has told her. But later we came to know that in case if you are not remembering whole time, you will not remember at the time of standing up or sitting down. So these are the kinds of tricks the sisters tell in so simpler way. So I thought to share that. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think the question is nothing to be understood, is just doing and then experimenting, practicing more. But at times understanding with some proper explanation gives a motivation. But again, I repeat, it's nothing to do with understanding. It's actually you just have to do it. You cannot make a baby understand how to walk. You just leave them, they will learn and then they will walk. It's exactly like that. So, but in terms of understanding, let me give you a few tips. The answer for both the questions, what to do when things keep coming repeatedly and how to erase it. For both the questions, the answer is only one, which is what Shrikant Bhai also has emphasized, Amrit Vela. So, I can actually give a big class, scientific class on Amrit Vela, which we have already done. Why Amrit Vela is so important, and Baba has given lots of things in Murlis itself. I'm stopping here with the single word Amrit Vela. So, in what context Amrit Vela? For the first question, what to do when it keeps coming repeatedly? The only way is which Baba tells, keep yourself busy. So, after Amrit Vela, make your timetable for the whole day, just stick to that. So that's the first part, the answer Amrit Vela. The second part, Amrit Vela, is again Amrit Vela is the only time in the entire day where you have natural capacity to get into that thing called as soul consciousness, which we have been discussing right from the beginning. There are so many reasons, scientific reasons for that. So that's why I said for both the things the answer is only one, Amrit Vela. Now coming to especially erasing the old sanskaras. I think most of you would have already got to know what is the meaning of erasing. Is there anybody who believes that actually we don't erase any sanskaras or we don't actually burn sanskaras? Can you just put up your hands? Do we actually erase or burn our sanskaras, or it just lies there? Yes, it lies there. Okay, predominantly answer comes like it lies there. Fine. So then what do you mean when you say burning the sanskaras? Baba clearly tells that you have to burn the sanskaras. What does it mean actually? So it just means you have to again become just like a baby, or you have to just become like an elderly grown up person who loses all the memories. Okay. So this is basically what Baba tells us, burning the sanskaras. So in scientific terms, what it actually means is there is a principle called as a Hebbian principle of learning. The neurons that fire together, they wire together. Okay. So what does it mean? Say for example, when a baby is walking, it is actually a training for multiple centers inside the brain where different regions of the brain coordinate, some for the hands, some for the legs, some for the balance, the trunk muscles. Even though the baby falls down, it gets up and then again keeps walking. So as it keeps trying again and again, all the things which are required for balancing, whether it is related to the legs, whether it is related to the upper limbs or the trunk, they all come together, and this is called as actually firing together. The neurons which are all getting excited together, firing together. So when we make the same set of neurons fire together again and again, automatically they become very kind of strong network. And that is where we actually call this thing called as, it has become a habit or sanskaras. In terms of soul, it is just the same thing. It's there, it is there even now also, it was there, and it will be there in future also. So the question of burning sanskaras basically means something to work with your brain and different kinds of networks. So when we do yoga in the form of Agni or fire, what is the meaning of burning the sanskaras is, you already have different kinds of networks. It's like there are some 100 people here. Each and every one of you are actually holding the hand of the other person. So everybody is connected. When I say yoga is like an Agni or a fire, what we are actually trying to do is, we are just trying to break the connection that is a holding of the hands. Everybody is still there, sanskara is still there, but what I'm doing is, I'm making different parts of the brain, networks of the brain to become just like an islands, not getting connected amongst themselves. It's just like you are holding together all the hands and now you have left the hands, but still everybody is here. You're not touching or you're not communicating. So information is there, but it's a meaningless information. It's similar to like you are listening something here, it makes some sense because your focus is here. If you just shift your attention, you could hear the sound from the fan, you could hear something from outside also, but you are not getting distracted by that. Why? Because your focus is here. And all those sounds doesn't make any sense to you now. So it's exactly the same thing. The sanskaras are going to be there, but they are just like pockets of islands which has no meaning. You are still able to see them, you are still able to feel them, but it cannot distract you or it cannot disturb you. So this is basically the burning of sanskaras. Shanti.
Thank you, brothers. Brothers, you move on to the second portion of the question because time is running out. The second portion for information of all of you, the question is become an instrument for subtle service. Yeah? Become an instrument for subtle service. So the question, we are focused more on subtle service now. So when we talk about subtle service, brothers, means that it's non-physical. Like now the brothers are sharing with you is physical, through the sound. You're hearing it, you're seeing it, and the brothers are sharing. So subtle service means that, like very often Baba said, we serve the elements of nature. We serve people who are sickly. We serve people probably the Ahmedabad crash. So many die. We serve them subtly. So the question is now to serve them subtly. What are we sending out to them? Are we sending vibrations for them? For those who are in need, whether elements of nature or whether souls who are sickly or whoever, we are sending vibrations to them, or what are we sending to them? Because service means you're giving something to them, correct? What are we giving to this, the thing that we are serving? It can be nature, it can be people who are suffering, it can be calamities. What are we sending out to them actually?
I think brother has already answered its positive vibrations. Again, being a scientific, I'll be a little more scientific. I think you will excuse me. He was telling in the form of neuronal circuits. I'll tell in the form of frequencies. And that's what is vibrations. And Russians have done an experimental good piece of work related to that, which is more published. That earlier the human being was perfectly in coherence, which so-called we call it outside spectrum or bioelectromagnetics, means this biological system is fully aligned with that kind of a system. So that is why the best instrument which Russians have developed, many of you might have heard about aura imaging. If I'm sitting with this brother and if he's more spiritual and I'm more chaotic, then even I'm disturbing his aura. But in case if his aura is more powerful, then in that case you might have felt it with so many great souls like Dadi Janki and all. If you are just simply reaching over there, the kinds of whole positive vibrations have impacted up to that much. And they have been saying, our elder sisters and dadis have been saying, it's not environment which is going to affect you. It's you who also can impact the environment. So again, to conclude, as per my scientific understanding and with experience since in Baba's knowledge, it's vibrations. And it's still those kinds of frequencies are beyond the instrumentation or scientific instrumentations till now. Till now, it is an indirect measure by which Kirlian photography or aura imaging is being done. But I think it's still based on thoughts, except wave and particle theory experimentation. Science has not been able to do it much related to thoughts. Thank you. Om Shanti.
So, as per the question, what to exactly give? maybe needy souls who are sick, unhealthy, in problems, obstacles, something, no accidental death happening. So Baba says, we are Baba's instrument. If you see, when parents know their children in problem, so they will try to how to help anyway, physically, mentally, how can they do for their children they do. So when we are Baba's instrument and we have also that natural duty Baba has given to us, we have to give. We have to listen how they are actually calling us. My God, my deities, please help us to listen those words. So that time there are 3 steps. As per, again I can say, all these things Baba has teaches us. No other world there, they will teach us how to give vibration and all these things. They have other media. So when we, exactly what we give them power of thought as a Baba's blessing in form of rays, in form of vibration. So how we can give? So there are 3 steps. First, you have to aware of yourself, what titles and self-respect Baba has given to you. That is called be aware who are you. Then invoke Baba. Baba will be magnifying glass. You see Baba and see souls who are in problems. When you see Baba, see souls, and you think some positive, it can be to heal themselves, it can be how they will free from obstacles. You can think of like what problem they're facing, it should be solved in a second. What thoughts you create seeing Baba, so it will first it will create like a thought, like a rage, and it will come to your attitude. If you repeatedly think that thought intense way, so it will come into attitude and it will convert it to vibration, and through atmosphere in a second without any variables. So your thought, what you created as a form of good wishes and good feelings, to is there. So when you think, first it will thought comes like a rays, then converted into vibration and is there. This is as per my understanding what we read Murli. Baba always mentioned that. That's why I say smrti, that is awareness and thought. Then if you create thoughts repeatedly with heartfelt feeling, it will convert it into vibration, then vibration to atmosphere. So it will travel without any barrier. But in between, you have to see Baba only. It is there.
One thing, because brother has triggered one of my memory, which is approximately 35 years before, when I was not in Gyan. I was reading one magazine which Dr. Kalam used to read it, News Scientist. And in that it was given a simple analogy between normal transmission. As you all have a mobile, you get through tower, you get the signals and things like that. That time, 35 years before, the analogy was given based on mother and child. And they had given transmitter and receiver, the frequency tuning. So that's what they said it. In case if child is weeping somewhere maybe 1,000 miles away, and a mother will pick up the signal. So that means a strong transmitter and even minor receiver will receive the signal, or strong receiver with minor that. So that's how these vibrations do work. So I thought this example to share with you. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yeah. So as brother started the question at the beginning itself, he clarified it's something non-physical. So definitely it is non-physical, no doubt about that. But actually what are we giving and what gets transmitted? Baba actually clarifies all the things in Murlis itself. For example, the very term that we use is actually Mansa Seva, Mansa Sakash. No doubt soul is involved in that, but still we add this term Mansa, mind. That has something to do actually. So what is that? So when we are giving something to others, what we are actually giving is, we are giving our thoughts, we are giving our feelings in the name of some elements of mind. But the energy for that actually comes from the purest aspect of our own self, the soul or Atma, whatever it is. It is just like, of course, it's everything is finally soul, but what we are actually giving is not the pure aspect of soul itself, something which is actually transformed in the form of mind, and then that element is actually moving around. It's just like, for example, if you just take rice, rice is everything, but finally when you want to serve it, it's never served as a rice. Either it is in the form of dosa, idli, or whatever it is, boiled rice, which is definitely in a different format altogether. Definitely rice is there, but it is transformed into something else. So in the same way, mind is such an element. When the intention is there in the form of good wishes or whatever you want to call in the soul, then finally it just gets transmitted in the form of our own thoughts. That is the reason why we add the term Mansa Sevar, Mansa Sakash. So this is one thing, what goes, what we give. The other part is actually speaking truly, we don't give because it's already connected. We just actually withdraw certain things which is blocking those connection basically. For example, on the one hand, we say everything is already fixed. What is fixed? To whom you are giving sakash or vibrations, that's also a part of drama itself. So then what are you actually doing if it is already there? In that context, it is not actually we are giving anything, the giving part is already there. But the effort that we are doing is, what is that part of me which is actually not allowing me to give? When you actually just hold it back, which is again nothing but your own old sanskaras, when you work on that, when you pay attention to that, when you keep a full stop for that, your part of getting connected with me in the name of this retreat is already there. Neither I have decided nor he decided, it is already there in the drama. But still, I had to take some effort to come from there to here. You also had taken effort. So, in the same way, when we say giving sakash to others, it just means you are holding back certain thing which is preventing you from giving. Otherwise, the giving is already there. And this actually reinforces one important concept, that you cannot give if you cannot maintain a state of neutrality. Even if you just have a small intention that I want to give, that itself is an obstacle to stop you from giving. So this neutrality you can maintain very easily if you keep drama and then Baba in front, that it's there already, and I'm just going to play my part, and the part actually is not giving. I am just putting full stop to those chatter that is going on inside.
I think very interesting, three brothers shared. Actually, the question is, we are giving or is it Baba giving? Whether vibrations or whether Mansa Sakash is, I think ultimately Baba is giving. I'm just an instrument in between. You see, I'm just an instrument in between. As brother Doctor was saying that no, the receiver is there. I'm the transmitter. Correct. Receiver is down the line. I'm a transmitter, but the upper one is there. So the whole question is, the transmitter must be in such a proper state of mind that the Baba can send to the transmitter can send up to them. So I think automatically, because sometimes you think we are giving, there'll come a time when we are sort of tired, lethargy, then, oh, I serve enough, they don't change, I serve the elements still coming, knocking at my door, flood is coming, wind are coming, but tsunami is coming. I think automatically, but Rama was saying that it's a good point that actually we are not giving, no? We are just there. We should make sure no blockage that Baba can send through us. If any blockage, I mean, automatically we the middle one is blocking them receiving it. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, brother, probably one or two questions we can open to the floor. But then when we talk about subtle service, I think most important subtle service is sickness of my body. Because many Brahmins have undergo a lot of sickness of body, whether we're in the hospital or whether we have some chronic illnesses. So the question now is how to serve my body subtly so that whatever pain is there, we know we are karmic accounts, we know we are in that period of time we are settling karmic accounts, but how at that particular moment, how do I serve my body subtly whether using Sakash or my, because Sakash we obviously send to others. But the question, can we send Sakash to our own self, especially when we're sick, and how to reduce the pain or the suffering or whatever?
Yes, we can give Sakash to ourselves. Again, Baba is there. So without Baba, we are nothing. And again, without ourselves, Baba also nothing. So I can give one good example. One of Baba's child, she is actually more than 70 years old and got fractured, and she got operation. And you know, like after operation, what orthopedics do? They put iron rod. So as per the medical treatment, they say, so when having anesthesia, so when anesthesia get rid, so after anesthesia, so you can feel huge pain where there is operation there. So that mother may know somewhere, like if you give Sakash to you, huge Baba, and just feel Baba giving his power, his blessings to that particular area where got operation, so there is no pain. And she used that. So as per the medical terminology, after operation when you will be awake, so there will be severe pain. But within some hour also, so hour gone like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, she does not feel any pain. So before that, actually, mother was asking to Baba, how can I give Sakash to myself? Your Sakash is not working properly because whenever I remember you, you are not there. I am facing many problems. But in that incident, so when the Mata remember Baba and Baba giving Sakash to particular part, and even if after anesthesia, there was no effect of anesthesia, she had no pain. So it means this story tells itself, if you remember Baba and use Baba's power on any part of like body or facing problem, that's what Baba says in one message. Whenever my mother's feeling tired while working, so I immerse all matas in certain region and I massage my mata. So this is like the what Baba tell. If you remember Baba, and if you remember pain also, Baba is there. Baba can heal you, but you have to use Baba's power on particular part of where you are feeling pain, sickness. So yes, you can give Sakash to yourself. Sakash has holistic approach, and Sakash has that power. That just yesterday I was trying to explain you. Sakash has that power. It can help you settle karmic account also.
I'll take half a minute just giving the example because I remember Shrikant Bhai, me and few other brothers with Ramesh Bhai when his dialysis was going on. At the time of dialysis, people feel it that how much trouble and whatnot and all. But he was such kind of a Karam yogi that even at that time he was conducting a meeting while the dialysis in parallel is going on. So that's an experience which we have seen it with him. So he is an example. He was also there in the meeting. So even up to Karam yogi level, there are souls which we have met it and we have seen it, Didis and Dadis and Bhaisab. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Sakash to self. So when it comes to disease and other sickness for one's own body, I don't feel it like giving something to the body. In fact, it's like a reverse thing, which Brahma Baba has actually done. I hope you're able to guess what I'm trying to say. Brahma Baba used to see his perfect form, keep emerging that again and again and again and again. This is the most powerful way of giving Sakash to your own self. We are not actually giving, we are just reflecting on our own self. So in terms of giving Sakash, this is what exactly I would say, giving Sakash to the self, to the body or whatever it is. On the other hand, talking about disease or sickness of the body, to me, there is only one disease or sickness, and that is called as pain. There is no other disease. Because we all know we are going to leave this body, and we all know we are going to leave this body because something or the other has to happen either in the heart or kidney or brain or somewhere else. Without that, you cannot just leave this body. So that's all fixed already. So having known this fact, the only thing that is going to bother us is whether it is heart, whether it is kidney, doesn't matter. It's all about pain. So how much you are ready to face the pain is the actual question. And are there any practices with which you can actually face this pain in a very mature way? 200% yes. Forget about Brahma Baba and others who have done and then had demonstrated this. Even many others who had done Hatha Yoga, they were also able to master the skill of overcoming the pain. But how do you overcome this pain? There are two ways. One is you are performing all your duties as prescribed, whether it is your household activity or whether it is service, all the things. And in the meanwhile, you just allow yourself to just release all the kinds of things that is there inside in Baba's remembrance, where definitely pain might be there. This is one way. The other way is you just sit on your body and then you just keep focusing on I should not get disease, I should not get disease, I should be healthy, healthy, healthy. This is another way, but a very crude way of trying to overcome this pain and very dangerous way of overcoming pain also. What is the danger in that? You are not allowing your accounts to settle. You are just only trying to master this thing called as pain, which means you are actually going to do something else again, even if you successfully leave this body without pain. So which Baba says as Riddhi Siddhi, don't get entangled into those things. But definitely if you just do as prescribed, what Baba has given, Niyam, Maryadas, all those things, everything is very beautifully inbuilt in that. And if you allow in that context all your sanskaras, all your accounts to come out, that's the most beautiful way of overcoming the pain which Brahma Baba has demonstrated. And for that the Baba has given this practice called as Ashriri. There are lots of Murlis, I am not getting into the details of that. Ashriri is one practice where you can win over your pain also even at a grosser level, just like what those Hatha Yogis have done, but in a very, very natural way without violating any universal laws. And you should experiment this. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So the way Brother put it, we got to have a part 2 come back again. So many Albert Buddhists is quoting. Correct? We can have a part 2 again. I think brothers sisters, time is catching up. We just fold our hands together. Thank you, the brothers, for beautiful sharing. Okay, with that, I pass the back to the MC, Jaya. Om Shanti.